Hello, everyone, and welcome to TXAPA's Fall Focus. Usually we're having our annual meeting close to this time. Everybody's getting ready for our annual meeting. Unfortunately, with all the COVID challenges, we're not being able to have our annual meeting this year, but we still want to get everybody together. We still want to have great communication and be involved with each other through this time of year. So we decided to have a Fall Focus. President Geno Carrier and our board said we need to bring everybody together to continue to have our communication. And so that's what we're doing. And today we're going to focus on services, the services from TXAPA, the services from this industry that everybody has participated in, done their essential job. So we want to celebrate service. So we're focused on that. Throughout the rest of the month, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will be having our focus. Starting on this Thursday, September 10th, we will be focused on engineering. And we're going to have Michael Lee, who's the Director of Engineering and Safety Operations for TxDOT. Next Tuesday, September 15th, we're going to be focused on results. Those results will be on the liquid asphalt sampling and testing program. Ted Flanagan, our major associate member chair, will be having a panel discussion with Miles Garrison from TxDOT, Ryan Barbarak, as well as Anad Mohammed at TxDOT on that program. On Thursday, September 17th, we're going to be focused on performance. Quincy Allen, TxDOT's District Operations Director, he will be having a DE panel discussion on all the performance things for our products that are going on within the districts and how the district is performing overall. So we're looking forward to seeing Quincy and all the DEs there. On Tuesday, September 22nd, we're going to be focused on ethics. And every year at our annual meeting, we always have Lance Kinney come in from the Texas Board of Professional Engineers. And he's going to be doing that again. He's going to give us a 1-hour session on engineering ethics. So all of you who are used to getting your PDH or your continuing education from our annual meeting, you'll be able to get that here this time also on your ethics program. And then Thursday, September 24th, we're going to be focused on fun. We're going to have our TXAPA Squares program. We're going to celebrate several things there that will all go into supporting our scholarship program, TXAPA Scholarship Program. Also, that's where we'll announce the winners of our virtual golf tournament. We're having a virtual golf tournament this year. I encourage you to get signed up. You still have a few days left to do that. But that's going to all proceed for that program, as well as TXAPA Squares is going to go to the TXAPA Scholarship Program. So I encourage you to get involved in that. And then to wind up the month, we're going to be focused on quality. And that's where we're going to announce all of our award winners. We have great award programs for TxDOT projects, for city county projects, and for Technicians of the Year. And we're going to celebrate those award winners this year on September 29th. For another special episode of our TXAPA Fall Focus. All right, with that, working behind our scenes as usual is our brother Jim Warren. Jim, we thank you for coordinating this program and getting all the technology for us together. And I know he said that there's a question box there. Just be sure and ask us a question at any time. Our guest today to help us focus on service is our president this year, Geno Carrier. Geno, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Harold. I appreciate being here.
You know, it's been a while since we've talked to you on camera like this. You've been involved in several of our TXAPA Live programs, but just wanted to catch up with you about how have you and the family coped with COVID-19 and all this craziness going on?
Well, it's been a learning process for all of us. You know, we started out, didn't think it was going to take quite this long, and but we're coming through it pretty well. Everybody, I think we've grown closer together, and that's a good thing. So.
You know, speaking of growing closer together, you have a whole house full of kids. I'm not sure everybody knows how many kids. How many kids do you have at home?
I have 4, and they range from 18 down to age 5. So
wow.
2 girls and 2 boys.
You know, everybody's been struggling with getting kids back to school or getting them back up to speed on their homeschooling. What process were you in? What kind of decisions have y'all been making on the kids in school?
Well, you know, my wife and I think it's important for the kids to go back to school. My oldest, senior in high school, and she's taken all of her classes through the local community college, which those are online classes. My middle daughter, Shelby, she has started kind of a private homeschool where she's gone back. Today was actually her first day, so she's there with about 16 other students. And then my 2 younger boys, my 10-year-old Evan and 5-year-old Andrew, he's they're both at homeschooling with Kristen, my wife. So
Outstanding.
mm-hmm.
We're so glad you're here today and talk to us about the services of TXAPA. But before we get into our conversation, I want to talk about our safety share. We always like to have a safety share with any meeting. We kick off all of our meetings with a safety share. Today's safety share is proper loading and handling of cargo in a truck, in primarily a pickup truck. We've had several instances recently of things that might have fallen out of a truck that caused some problems for us around here. So just wanted to talk about proper loading and handling of cargo in a truck. If you have a truck, chances are you have transported a variety of cargo. Moving furniture, tools, appliances, or towing trailers can be very physically and mentally stressful and potentially dangerous. According to the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, there are an estimated 25,000 road accidents every year caused by detached vehicle parts or cargo and materials that fell from trucks. So before you hit the road with your cargo in tow, follow these safety procedures for proper loading and handling. You might think, you know, if you haven't seen something fall off of a vehicle, you're probably lucky, or you're saying, you know, does this really happen? I want to tell you, this really happens, and it probably happens more than you think. As people know, I like to ride motorcycles, and one of the people who ride in my group couldn't make a trip earlier this year. And the reason why is because he was on another trip and a refrigerator fell out of a back of a pickup truck and hit him and broke his leg. So
a
refrigerator, Jim, fell out back of a truck,
Wow.
hit him, broke his leg. And thank goodness nothing else happened to him, but it was unbelievable.
He's lucky he's alive.
He's lucky he's alive. I totally agree with that. Also, another instance, a tarp, if you know, some of these trucks have a rolled up tarp they put on the back of those flatbed trailers sometime. That's where they store them. That had come loose from a truck, and this was at night. We happened to run over that. Luckily, nothing happened to our vehicle or anybody, so we were all safe. But there's lots of instances where we can tell things have happened. Lauren, this morning, our administrator, was coming to work and a hammer fell out of a truck and almost went through her windshield. So these instances do happen. So here's some ideas that you can have and some preventive measures to take so that won't be happening to you or anybody on the roadway. Prepare your truck for your cargo. To ensure your items are safely secured, invest in materials that will not only keep your cargo in place, but protect your truck and your belongings. Non-skid bed liners reduce shifting on slippery truck bed floors in braking and cornering situations. To keep smaller items such as tools or groceries from blowing out while traveling, install a permanent toolbox or secure a large cooler in the back of your truck. Always check your additional items such as ratchet straps, tarps, and cargo netting to make sure they are in usable condition. Plan your trip. When hauling especially large items or towing a trailer, it is best to travel the smoothest and straightest path available.
Asphalt.
I was just going to say that, Jim. Yeah, the smoothest. All right, I like that. Avoiding curving and rough roads will decrease the chance your cargo will be subjected to extreme forces. Be sure to check the weather ahead of time as well. Precipitation raises the risk of motor vehicle accidents by 34%, according to a recent study from the North Carolina Institute for Climate Studies. Load and label items accordingly. Very heavy loads should be as far forward as possible in the truck bed to prevent the front of the vehicle from becoming light, which makes steering less effective and more difficult. Unusually long loads should be marked with a flag on the end so other drivers will notice it overhanging the tailgate and avoid approaching too closely. Long loads are also more likely to shift and should be secured with a guiding line to keep them stationary. So those are some good tips to be sure and remember as you have to load your truck with any cargo. You don't want that falling out and hitting somebody or losing some of your precious cargo. So want to keep that in mind. So Geno, have you ever had anybody have something fall out of their truck and you come close to it?
No, I've never had anybody come have something fall out like that I'm aware of. But I did hear a story about a fellow that got followed all the way home, who had a welding bed, and followed him all the way home to tell him he had a hammer on his bumper. and it turned out he had welded it to his bumper so that people wouldn't follow him too closely. So
that's pretty smart. I hadn't thought about that. That's another tip. All right, thank you. I want to bring up just a few news items real quick. Just want to say congratulations to Anand Mohammed. He has been selected as TxDOT's Director of Flexible Payments. He took Ryan Barbarak's job over there, who got to move up to the Deputy Director job at Materials and Tests. So congratulations to Anand. I know he has hit the ground running. We've had several discussions already. We have a meeting with him tomorrow, so he is certainly hitting the ground running. Congratulations. Also, we've gotten several announcements about new district engineers that have come up. Over in your district, Lufkin, Kelly Morris was appointed the district engineer over there. In the Tyler district, Vernon Webb was appointed district engineer. Fort Worth district, Carl Johnson moves over from the Abilene district to Fort Worth. And in the Amarillo district, Blair Johnson has been appointed the district engineer. So congratulations to all of y'all who are the district engineers now. And I know San Angelo, I did not get a notice on San Angelo. So if San Angelo has been appointed, somebody's going to have to tell me. I haven't got that information yet. So, but congratulations to our district engineers. And I know they're all great partners in quality, and we look forward to working with them in the future. Also, the HMAC is open for business. We're having classes here in beautiful Butte, of course, and we have classes online. So just want to encourage you to make sure you're out there signing up for the classes you need. They're all available. So be sure you get signed up for your technician classes. Don't want to have anybody forget about our troubleshooting series coming up. Jim Warren has been developing that program. It will be for mixed designs. It will be for plant operations as well as roadway operations. We'll have separate segments on troubleshooting. So if you ever have troubleshooting issues, and we all do, that's just normal. It's just a tough business, and we have issues that come up, and we're going to find out some solutions to some of those troubles and how we can overcome those obstacles. So we want to be sure and get you involved in that. That's going to be in October. That will be in October. We will have our troubleshooting series. All right. With that news items out of the way, we're going to get started having a conversation with our president, Geno Carrier with East Texas Asphalt out of the Lufkin area. Geno, what's it been like being the general manager of East Texas Asphalt with all these issues coming at you, all the different changes with COVID-19? What's it been like?
Well, it's kind of been a wild ride this year so far in 2020. It's fast and furious. Lot of specification changes, a lot of stuff thrown at you at once, and we've come through it pretty well. I've got a great team over there, and thankfully they make my job look easy. So
good. There must be lots of planning going on, lots of work going on. Have you had any personnel to have issues or extended people laying out, that type of thing?
We have, as I'm sure everybody else has, on this conversation. Probably, I feel like we've had about 20% of our workforce out at one time. I think our high point was maybe 10% out at once. And but we've come through. We hadn't missed a lick. We were fortunate to be able to move people around and just continue taking care of business. So,
outstanding. Talking about taking care of business, I know y'all do a lot of business with the railroad. Have a lot of train service and that type of thing. Have y'all encountered any problems there at all?
With the railroads, no. Well, we've been real fortunate. We haven't had a shortage of rock shipments or anything. Now, I have heard from my railroad partners that they are having problems with crews. So I'm not sure about it. My counterparts in other parts of the state, if they've had some problems with railroad, but our service has stayed fairly consistent so far. So.
Good. So yeah, supply chain overall, have you had any issues with any materials or any problems like that?
Overall, supply chain has been consistent. I think we've had 2 loads of liquid asphalt get delayed due to COVID-19. And unfortunately, one of the drivers on the way up passed away from COVID, is what we understand. So
major challenges.
It's a really sad deal right there.
You just never know. We're focused on talking about service today, and our industry, of course, being essential. It seems like that we've had to overcome a lot of things. What have you seen from our industry, from your point of view? How have we adapted and overcame this year?
Well, our industry just took the bull by the horns with this. We looked at it as another challenge that we had to overcome and succeed with, and we've taken our proper safety measures. We masked up. We eliminated or reduced in-person meetings and contact. You know, we've had to change the way we interact and the way we communicate. Communication is super important, and really what I have seen is that we've gotten projects turned out on time or faster than scheduled. And I just think it's a real testament to the dedication of all the people in this entire industry that they just banded together and got it done, you know.
You know, it's amazing that that we've been able to adapt and overcome some of these issues. And it seems like, I don't know how it is for you, but it seems like around here at TXAPA, it takes more planning. It takes more time to plan to make these things successful. Have you seen that in your operations too?
Absolutely. Planning, record keeping, and it's just going to take longer to do anything, any type of project, any capital improvement. You've just got to plan on the fact that you may not have all of your top hands available at the time. So
it's amazing to see what all our industry has been able to accomplish with those challenges that we've had, and it's just a testament to the will, I think, of our members of our industry as well as our TXDOT partners. And speaking of our TXDOT partners, how have you seen them respond to the situations that we have?
You know, our relationship with TXDOT at East Texas Asphalt is really strong, and the districts that we do business with that I have personal knowledge of, Lufkin, Beaumont, Tyler, Atlanta, they haven't missed a lick. They have done an outstanding job. You know, there's been a few things where you have some logistical hurdles getting a contract back to them or something. I think we did have a couple of through the fence handoffs on signed documents because FedEx wasn't doing very well, so we were real concerned about FedEx or UPS. And but other than that, those guys have just bowed up and taking care of business as well. So
I totally agree. That's what we've seen from our side too. I know materials and tests, they have a lot going on over there. All the tests, with the amount of work going on, there's automatically more tests, and then being challenged with people being out, it seemed like they've been able to hold up their standards there. So glad to see them do that. And also the lettings. I mean, have you seen any change there at all?
They've been consistent as planned. I mean, they had the virus or the ransomware that got hit, and they just continued on, and we had to do paper bids, and it was like, you know, business as usual. They got it done.
That's right. That was amazing. Doing a paper bid during these times with that amount of work that they had coming out too. So great job for all of our TXDOT partners to respond like that. You know, we started back in January with our annual membership meeting, and got you installed as president. What did you think about the annual meeting, and did you ever think we'd be in this situation?
You know, we started off in January, really even December and November, planning for this year. We started with a bang, and record attendance at the annual meeting. We had the MAPS conference, which I attended, and it was awesome. Record attendance there, and then March hit, and then, you know, it was a totally different animal. And so all that planning, you know, we had to kind of throw that out the window and focus on what we could do. And it has not been a bad experience. It's definitely not an experience I really want to repeat.
For sure. That's for sure. But you know, that meeting was really great. We did have record attendance, like you said, for our annual membership meeting. We had our first ever Winter Classic golf tournament.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. We raised a lot of money for the scholarship program. So hopefully we can duplicate that again in January. I mean, that's kind of the plan, right?
I think we can. We're moving forward, you know, just like we're going to have our annual meeting, and I think we'll get to have it. So
that's our goal.
Mm-hmm.
It would be at the La Cantera is where it would be. So we'd have our membership meeting there. Mm-hmm. So we're looking forward to that. In March, crazy things happened. Our lives changed. All these things took place. You know, as TXAPA president, I mean, this is your year to oversee this great industry and association. And when it hit, what do you remember thinking about? What kind of went through your mind as to what are we going to be able to do to provide services for our industry?
Oh gosh, I just kind of thought, holy mackerel, what do we do? You know, but real strong team behind us here at the association, at the HMAC. And we knew that we had to communicate. We had to get information to our members. We've still got as you said, TxDOT is moving forward with specification changes, with test procedure changes. The lettings are as scheduled, and business is continuing. And so we had to shift from an in-person focus to how do we do this virtually? And I think by and large, it's been very successful. We've come up with a number of things, these optimized series that Chuck and Jim are doing. We've done the TXAPA Lives, virtual certifications. I mean, the list goes on. And I just felt like it's been a good year. We've gotten a lot done. It's not what we thought we were going to do, but we got a lot accomplished.
We really have. We really have. And I just want to let everybody know that it's been amazing what we've been able to do and the amount of time that you've been able to donate to TXAPA to make sure we have been service oriented. Geno, for those of you that don't know, he has invested a lot of time in our operation and attends our weekly staff meetings. Geno participates in that. He gives us lots of guidance, lots of information, lots of direction on things we need to work on and what we need to explore. How's that experience been for you?
It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. I've grown close to the team. I feel like part of the team. And I don't know that without doing that, we wouldn't have this level of contact that we do, during those meetings and I think because of that, really anytime any of us talk, it's just very comfortable and very open. And I think that's where a lot of our success this year has come from.
There's no doubt about it. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that. I know what your time schedule is like and how demanding that schedule is, and for you to get to visit with us at least. I mean, we talk almost daily, it seems like, but at least on a weekly basis has been just a tremendous help for all the staff, and we really appreciate it.
I'm glad. It's really nice for me to be able to interact with the entire staff too. That's one of the things. I feel like I know everyone, and it's been a good thing.
And knowing Corey, I'm not sure you wanted to get to know him that well or not, but now you have
better than I ever thought I would.
We appreciate Corey for sure at the Hot Mix Asphalt Center. You've had a great board of directors to work with this year. Tell me about the board and what they've been doing.
100% committed. You guys couldn't have voted for a better board than you voted in this year in 2020. We've continued on all of our board meetings. Nearly 100% attendance.
Yep.
In every meeting. We've had additional meetings because obviously you all know that we've had stuff pop up this year that had to be handled right away, and 100% attendance at those. Major decisions, we've had unanimous votes, and they're just plugged in. We talk at away from the meetings, and these guys are just super plugged in and can't say enough about them. Very glad to have their support this year.
I guess this board had to make one of the toughest decisions we've ever had to do, and it was a unanimous decision, and that was to cancel the annual meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Any comments about that?
A lot of sleepless nights. A lot of sleepless nights. Not the outcome we wanted, but we worked on a path for several months, and we met about it multiple times, and we're dealing with hotel contracts and attendance and safety issues and different things, and you kind of have to go down a path of two paths, like you're going to have the meeting and like you're not going to have the meeting. And what do you do? So for nearly 3 months, we had two plans, and unfortunately we had to cancel. It was the right thing to do. It was a unanimous decision, but that was an interesting experience. So that's why we're here, to make tough decisions. So
that's right, and they have been done.
Mm-hmm.
We have quickly adapted to online programs, and you really helped us come up to speed with Zoom programs and go-to meetings. And one of those things that we came up with was TXAPA Live. What's been your thoughts about TXAPA Live?
It's been great. I mean, what better way to get information to our members? And our attendance at TXAPA Live has been fantastic. Every time we have it, it's been really good. And we've just talked about a number of important topics, and I think people are able to participate, even they couldn't participate if it was an in-person meeting, because it's an hour out of their time or just a small portion of their day, and they don't have to travel. And it's a really good thing.
You bet. TXAPA Live developed not only into news and information, but educational opportunities. And I know Jim really brought a lot to the table in our optimization series that you talked about, and we'll talk about that just a little bit more. And also, I'm not sure we'd be able to do all this if we didn't have Jim Warren around to give us all this great technology. So once again, Jim, I just want to give you a shout out, say thank you for enabling us to do all these things.
We're fortunate to have Jim for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. He cooks some really good barbecue chicken.
He can. That chicken is excellent.
Jim, that's another hint for Friday. How about that?
I was here Friday, and I had the best cookout of ever. But unfortunately, nobody else was here.
Yeah, you were by
I
yourself.
was
Yeah.
by myself.
Okay.
My phone never rang. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. One of the things that you have really made sure that we were staying on top of is communication and communicating to our membership. And one of the things you helped us develop was a weekly e-newsletter and also the expansion of our web page to expand its services as well as social media. Any comments on that?
Great team working on social media, working on communication. Emily and Jenna just knock it out of the park every time we give them a task. They just take care of business and exceed. I mean, we even have a YouTube channel. I mean, who knew that TXAPA was going to have a YouTube channel? But they just have done a great job, great communication tools, and I encourage y'all, if y'all haven't seen it, the members need to go check it out. So
I bet. It really has expanded our services. Our web page has more content loaded than it ever has before. So we appreciate the direction you gave to that. It really helped us to reorganize it and go through it to where now it's really easy to navigate and go find the information that you need. And I'm not a big social media person, but I understand that we have a great presence. I mean, I see it in the background, but we have a great presence on all social media platforms. So that's a great program. We mentioned the optimization series and what that was with all the changes in specifications. We wanted our members to understand that there was changes and that you could use these specifications to improve your quality, but not only that, to improve your chance of getting a bonus and optimizing that bonus. And we know that there's money already in the projects for bonuses, so we need to be achieving those. Did you have your people participate in the optimization program?
Sure did. It's a required viewing for all of my staff, and they've been great. The mixed design, talking about segregation and temperatures and different things. It's been really good that how the plant catches up to changes in design or changes in gradation, and we've definitely been successful, implementing some of the things. I think one of the feedback from one of our members was this was the best thing they ever saw, and please don't show it to their competition. Well, unfortunately, we're going to show it to anybody who wants it,
That's right.
So but it's super program.
It was a great program, and it's on our webpage. If anybody needs to go back there and look at those, we had one for mixed designs, as you mentioned, and that was Jimmy Whited and Ryan Barbarak helped us out with that. We had TJ Young help us out with the plant operations and Todd Mansfield with our roadway operations. So we even had to break that one up into two different segments. We had so much information being shared there. So everybody can find that on our TXAPA website. Speaking of specifications, how hard has it been as a industry member out there working with all the conditions that we have? How hard has it been to keep up with all the specification changes?
Oh, wow. So that's a big topic right there. So I think at last count, we've had 57 specification changes that we have reviewed this year. Amid coronavirus, amid everything else, 57. And if I'm off one or two, I apologize. But it's been extremely difficult. This is a big industry with lots of working parts. We've got quarries, we've got mining, railroads, trucking, transportation, hot mix plants, refiners, you name it. And we all play a part. And an elephant does not turn on a dime. Right. And it's tough. They're tough to deal with sometimes, as I'm sure some of our members can attest. You definitely need time to adjust to some of this stuff.
You're exactly right, Geno. That's one situation we have is that it takes a lot to change our operations, as you described. That's not easy to do. But then when you have so many changes at one time, it's even harder, especially under the conditions we have with so much work going on. So. That's right. That's one thing that you and the board led us to, is to have a customized education program for specifications. And we called it, let's see, Specification Education, a customized service for maximum results. You participated in that program. You had one of those customized programs for you. What do you think about that?
Great. Just fantastic. They went over our jobs, our specific jobs that we had on the books at that time. We went over those 3077, 3076 mixes, little things that we needed to pay attention to. They made sure we were aware of all of the, the new definitions of things, new definition of surface mix, made sure we were aware, and really just did a phenomenal job on that. Super valuable. I would encourage all of our regular members to try to set up a time. If you hadn't done it, you need to do it. So you'll make money.
Just a reminder, if you have any questions at any time, just go ahead and type them in and send them to us.
Thank you, Jim. I agree with you. We need to get everybody signed up for that, because there's a lot of changes. There's so many changes out there that are significant, that can have an impact on your operation. So encourage everybody to get signed up for that customized program. Continuing about the services we provide, one of the greatest things we have is our committee structure. We have, I believe it's 16 committees out there that are working on programs. I think they all have met, and as a matter of fact, you kept them on the same schedule, and they even had their mid-year reports. You want to talk about our committees for a minute?
Sure do. Just like our board, our committees have been very active. They have all met, I believe, in June. They came and they gave us all their reports. They've all been productive. In December, we have a planning session, strategic planning meeting, where we line out all of our priorities for the year. And, some of them have had to adjust priorities, but they have all gotten things done. It's been amazing how active that they've been, and just, hats off to those guys and gals for doing that.
I totally agree. It's amazing how they have responded and quickly adapted to Zoom meetings. And one of those that I'll never forget, early on in the process, we had a major associate member meeting. We had over 40 connections at one time. That was our first time to have one that big. And what a great meeting. It went off perfectly. TxDOT was there, as well as our major associate members. And so it was really good. And I want to echo what you're saying. I was there for the reports on from all the committee chairs, and it was great to see how they are resilient in their work. They continue to work on their goals and objectives, and they're just doing a great job.
They're dedicated.
They really are.
Every single one.
They really are. We're also working on keeping some of our great industry services ongoing. And one of those programs is our awards program. You want to talk about how important the awards programs are?
Oh, super important. Our quality jobs need to be recognized. People need to know that we're doing a good job out there. The taxpayers need to know that we're doing a good job for them. I was fortunate enough to participate as an evaluator for the TxDOT Awards, and rode on some of the best pavements I've ever been on in my life. And I've been around this industry a very long time, longer than I care to admit. But Glenn and his team, the TxDOT Awards, and Josh and his team have just kept right on going. I mean, there was challenges. TxDOT couldn't participate as evaluators, so Glenn got more evaluators available with TxDOT's permission. We worked through that, and we got some people in there. And myself, I rode with somebody who was a former director of construction, wealth of knowledge. I learned a lot from them during the ride and had a great time. And can't say enough about it. So
you bet. It's so important to recognize not only those quality projects, but that quality people that are involved in that too. And Josh Houston and his committee have done a great job for the non-TxDOT awards for city and county and airport work. And of course, Glenn Dvorak and David Stevens, co-chairs of our TXAPA awards, have done a tremendous job. And of course, we have our Hot Mix Asphalt Center certification committee put together the Technician of the Year award. So can't wait to celebrate that on September the 29th. September 29th, we will be having our celebration and announcement of all the award winners. So we're looking forward to that. Also, we just recently handed out another round of scholarships there. So you want to talk about the scholarship program?
15 scholarships we just handed out recently. And the scholarship program has just kept on keeping on, and it changes lives. I
That's
mean,
right.
it just changes lives. And so proud of that program, so proud that we're able to focus on it this year, just like all the other years. And it's doing well. So
It is. It's a very important program, and it does change lives. And I made a little announcement last time about the asphalt rodeo, and we will continue to have the asphalt rodeo this year. It's just going to look a little bit different than what it has in the past, just like everything else this year. We're going to be talking about some forensic opportunities out there about what happened to this pavement and what would they do to solve this dilemma and what might have happened out there and how to prevent it. So that's the look that our asphalt rodeo will take on. But last year we had a student who participated in that, was asked to be on one of those teams, and it changed his life to be there, to see the passion of everybody in the room, to see how dynamic asphalt pavement is and what it took to work in there. It gave him a direction of what he wanted to do with his life, and he's working on being a project manager in the asphalt world now. So we're glad to see that, and it does work. And we just recently gave him one of those scholarships. So it's a great program.
that's
for
awesome.
Sure. Also, to benefit the awards program, we will have the TXAPA Squares program. Don't want to forget about that. That will be on the 24th. That's our focus on fun. So like I said, we're going to have Robert Lee and Dale Rand, our contestants. We've got 9 great people to be in the squares to play. And we're going to raise money for our scholarship program for sure, as well as our virtual golf tournament. I want to remind everybody again, go sign up for the golf tournament and participate in that program and raise funds for the scholarship program. All right, we have covered a lot of services that we have at TXAPA and things that we've been doing this year. It seems like it's been nonstop. Any other comments you have? Anything else you want to talk about?
You know, the only other thing I could say is just I'm so proud of the dedication of the men and women here at TXAPA and at HMAC. They have made my life better and our industry better. And I appreciate all of y'all's efforts. Just done a phenomenal job in this whole industry. This year has definitely taught me how resilient we are, you know, and kind of like I said in the magazine, when the going gets tough, we keep going. And that is 100% true of this industry. Proud to be here.
You bet. Good. So, we've done a great job this year. We have really appreciated your guidance and direction. We feel like that we have been able to do things we normally wouldn't do. You've challenged us on several things, and we certainly have enjoyed doing those things. So thank you very much for a great year so far, and look forward to even more as we continue on.
There's still a few months left. I'm excited to see what we can get into. So.
You know, speaking of that, what do you think the future holds for the industry in general? I mean, what directions do you see us going? Do you see major changes in operations, or do you see us continuing to have our traditional processes?
You know, like I said, it's kind of hard to turn an elephant. So I would anticipate that we continue on. Mm-hmm. I think that through COVID-19, through 2020, and the things that we learned, I think that we are going to take some change with us. I think some of the virtual stuff is going to stick. We like at the HMAC Center, I hadn't said anything about that, but we're doing in-person classes now. We've got virtual classes going. Those have been super successful. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the changes we had to implement because that's part of our responsibility, and so I think some of these changes are going to stick. I think by and large, we're going to keep, putting the pavement on the road and giving the public a good value for their dollar. And that's really what we're here for. We're just here to make that better. So
excellent. Good thoughts. And, you brought up the Hot Mix Asphalt Center, and that's a significant changes going on there with the online, the virtual programs that you have now. There's virtual training classes as well as certification programs. We now have opened up the center again, so everyone can attend those. So Corey and his staff at the HMAC have done a great job. There's no doubt about it.
For sure.
All right. Well, I believe that just about takes up our time for today. I just want to thank Geno Carrier for being here and giving us all the great information about TXAPA services. I want to thank you for joining us. But the other folks I want to thank is all the medical people out there, all of our military people, our police, all those who are protecting us, keeping us safe. Thank you so much for being on the front lines. And I want to thank our frontline people in our industry too. All the people who are out there in the labs or on the roadway, in the quarries, all those type of places. thank you for being there, and thank you for doing such a great job and being dedicated to quality. So with that, just want to say thank you again. Be sure and check us out on Thursday. That's when we have Michael Lee. We're going to be focused on engineering. Michael Lee with TXAPA will be our guest there. So until then, hey, go get some of that great Texas sunshine on you. Thank you.